everyone, we are winding down our March haul madness with a makeup haul. I do have quite a few new products to share with you, but I thought it'd be fun to run through my entire routine, not just one product at a time, and it's not a get ready with me. As you can see, my full face of makeup is on, but I wanted to give you my most used products currently in every single category that goes on my face on a regular basis. And for those of you who love more cool toned colors and shades, all of this stuff, I think, you'll let me know if I got it wrong, are geared more toward the cool tones because I recently had my colors done this year. I'll link that video here if you missed it. Turns out I'm a summer season, which is more cooler tones. Don't worry if you love warm tones, I got a lot for you here as well. I will list everything down in the description box, sorted by category in the order which I'm sharing them here. I'm gonna run through them pretty quickly and I will list the links, the pricing, and the shades that I use to help you figure out what would work best for you. Okay, let's start at the beginning of my makeup application, which for me is sunscreen. So I like to kind of cheat evening out my complexion with the sunscreen. So whether I just want to go barefaced and I have just sunscreen on and it's a no makeup kind of day, it gives me a little bit of coverage. Or if I really want to amp up the coverage of my foundation and complexion products, this is also a great step. So let me walk you through a few options. We have the two Colorescience options. I have the Flex, which comes in light, medium, and deep, and I wear it in light now, and then once I start fake tanning, I'll wear it in the medium. And then we have the Colorescience Glow, which I would say is like a light, medium kind of hybrid. It works with both, and it doesn't have quite as much coverage, but it gives you that glow. Just a quick tip, if you really want a beautiful, glowy, no makeup face, layer on the Glow first, and then do a layer of the Flex. The other one, which I reach for all the time, this is my second bottle, is the Supergoop Protec Tint Daily SPF Tint. It's an SPF 50, and I should say that these are also 50. That's generally what I prefer. And if you're someone who's like, that's great, I don't want a tinted sunscreen, this is part of my newest haul. I did pick this one up from Chantecaille. This one is not tinted, and it's also SPF 45, not 50, but that's still plenty high, and it's their Ultra Sun Protection Sunscreen, and it's also a primer. So it is designed to work while under makeup. So if you've been having issues with your foundation pilling on top of your sunscreen, you might wanna give this one a go. I just have to stress, you really have to shake it up because it is very watery and it'll just get everywhere. So shake it up. Now we're moving on to complexion products. And the one product that is new, because I had to buy another one because I run out of them so often. So I have my old one, I have my new bottle here. This is the Trish McEvoy Instant Eye Lift. It is my most recommended and most used makeup product of my entire YouTube career. I wear it every day, even if I'm not wearing makeup, but I'm gonna leave the house. It just brightens under my eyes and blends seamlessly with my skin, so you can wear it without having to apply more makeup. But more often than not, I'm wearing a full face of makeup. So let's get on to the foundations. Earlier this year, I went through a barely there makeup phase, and I was using products like the Typology Serum Foundation, which I will list and link, and the Jones Road Beauty WTF Foundation. I kind of moved back into more of a medium coverage. So to be fair, I want to talk about what I'm currently using right now. I will list those for those of you that still like the lighter coverage. I like more medium. So my most used, I have to say, and probably the one I get the most compliments are when I combine the L'Oreal True Match Nude Serum Foundation with the Glow SPF. When I wear these two together, I get so many compliments on my foundation. My normal skin color is the lightest option, which is 0.5 to 2, and my fake tan, which probably will start like mid-April, is just the next shade up. I'm at the far light end of the spectrum here. For quite a few months, I've really been liking the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Foundation. It's a beautiful, slightly radiant or glowy foundation without making it look like I'm sweating. And this is something that I'm directing at my over 50 friends, anyone who's in perimenopause or menopause. I have dry skin, should have started with that. That has only gotten drier with age, but at our age, the last thing we want to look like is so dewy that it looks like we might be experiencing a hot flash, because that's always a possibility. So I like foundations, as you can see, that give me a glow without making it look like I have a sweaty upper lip, which is generally why you aren't going to see me talking about highlighter today. Our skin gives enough, and there's enough in the foundations that I'm wearing that I don't feel the need to zhuzh it up with even more highlighter unless it's like a special going out night. So this is not what I'm wearing. I'll get to that in a second. But if you like the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, this is very similar and has an amazing shade range. However, if you are a fan of the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, I used to love this. And then my skin went through a thing, and every time I put it on, I get cystic acne. And so I walked away from it probably for almost a decade now. And I recently went back to wearing it. I've been wearing it nonstop for a couple weeks now, and it's beautiful. This is not something you need to wear for every day. I mean, you could, I'm wearing it right now, but if you want to have a special foundation for those going out nights when you want to look extra pretty, when your skin to just look perfect, Luminous Silk is amazing, but I will say most days it's the L'Oreal Nude. Honestly, I can go through a few bottles of this before I even get to the price point of that, so that's another reason why I kind of alternate. All right, let's move on to concealers. Not as varied a list. I use 2 different concealers, one to brighten under my eyes. Remember, I used the Trish McEvoy, wherever it went, Instant Eye Lift. That's to correct under eye darkness. It does not conceal anything. So while I don't have any blue tones under my eyes once I use this, it's still not the most even, bright, and beautiful skin that it could be. So I use the Tarte Creamy Creaseless Concealer. It's super lightweight. I do have fine lines and wrinkles, and this doesn't settle in it, but any concealer is gonna settle in those lines unless you set it with powder. We'll get to that in a moment. This Creaseless Creamy Concealer is what I use under my eyes only. For blemishes on my face, this one's got a hefty price tag, worth every penny. This is the Cle de Peau Stick Concealer. I have it in the shade, I think it's Ivory, and then my summer color is Almond. Here's the thing, I think it's like $75, which I know, that's a lot of money. I've had this stick for a couple of years at least. This is my second tube. The other one was probably going on close to, probably past its expiration date. That's how little you need and how long it lasts. It also has SPF 25, which obviously you already have a full face of SPF on, but when you've got a blemish or dark spot that you're trying to cover, a little extra SPF is fantastic because you don't want that to discolor anymore while it's healing. This is also another good one if you do, your tinted SPF and then you do a little brightening under your eyes with the Trish McEvoy Instant Eye Lift. You dot this on in a couple of places just to kind of cover any unevenness, and you wouldn't even necessarily need a full face of makeup. This blends beautifully. Now let's get to contour. This is a step a lot of people skip. That's fine. I don't do any kind of art projects or DIY, so I look at my daily makeup routine as that outlet for me. You don't have to tell me I'm wearing a lot of makeup. I am well aware of it. I'm okay with it. I wash it off every night and start over again in the morning. So there is only one product that I'm using consistently for contour. It's a stick contour. It's from Dior. It's their Dior Forever Skin Contour. I wear it in the shade 01 Light. It is definitely heavily fragranced. So if this is something that bothers you, especially if you're contouring your nose, I just want you to point that out to you, I should say. A little goes a long way. I specifically started using this really cool brush from IT Cosmetics. Can you see how skinny? It's almost like a paintbrush, but it's super, super thin. And I just drag this across the top and then I just draw on the exact line. So that way I don't overdo it and draw 2 big heavy bars down my face. So I do it down the sides of my nose to make a slimmer, straighter nose, chisel those cheekbones in, and then to kind of hide the little jowls that are starting over here, I do it here as well. And then I just blend it in with another brush. We will get to brushes in a moment. I do wear some liquid bronzer and liquid blushes, but I'm gonna go in the general order of how I do things. So let's get to powder. So like I mentioned earlier, I strongly believe you need to set your under eyes with powder, but you need a very specific one. It has to be very finely milled, designed specifically for that area because we don't want it to settle into the lines and make it worse. So even with my dry skin, this has never been a problem. I've played with some of the Tarte powders and I like them, but they are messy when you're working with loose powders. I've recently come back to my very well-loved compact from Charlotte Tilbury. This is her Airbrush Brightening a Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Eye and Face Micro Powder. That's a long name for this little thing. And I just take a triangular, I might have one in here, yes, triangular shaped puff that I get from Amazon. You can see it's well loved. Slide my finger under, dab it in, and just press it under, and it kind of soaks up the extra moisture too, which is why your under eye concealer creases. So works like a charm, especially when we move into summer months and you're sweating and all that. If you set it with this, you're probably good all day long. For my face, again, I kind of like to cheat with the coverage. So I usually reach for powders that are more like powder foundation, that have some extra tint to them. And the one I've been using the most lately is this one from Tarte. It's their Face Tape Press Powder, and I wear it in the shade 22N, which is light neutral. A little darker than my actual skin tone, but it does warm me up a little bit. And I apply this all over my face with a fluffy brush. And if you don't know why I am doing all this, it's not just to even out my complexion even more. It sets all those layers, keeps them locked in all day. Once I put my makeup on in the morning, I don't look at it again except maybe to touch up my lipstick. That's it. It also serves as a protective layer between all of your wet or creamy products and your dry products. Because if I tried putting on bronzer or any other powder like a blush on top of anything that's kind of wet in a way from the creamy or liquid products, it'll just streak and go on unevenly. So this is like the protective layer before you move on to the rest of your dry products. Which leads me to bronzer. My most used bronzer, and the one I will probably start breaking out again once I start my fake tanning, is from Tarte. It's their Park Avenue Princess bronzer. This is a newer one that I've recently picked up. And the reason that I love this one so much, even though looking at it now, it looks a little too warm to me, is that it's waterproof. So when you're outside and you're sweating and the humidity and all the stuff that goes on in the summer in Texas or wherever you happen to live, this stuff is fantastic. But lately, I've been trying to bring in more cool toned bronzers, not so much that they're contour powders, but they're not quite as bronzy, more neutral. So a newer discovery I've talked about quite a bit is this one from Jones Road. The specific shade is called Light Tan, and I've almost hit pan on it right there. I can see it. So I've been using this a lot, and you can see in comparison to the Tarte one, this one has a little more orange undertone to it, and this one is a little more neutral. But then recently, I used up my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer, which I love that product. It has a bit of glow to it without any glitter, and it's such a pretty translucent bronzer that even if you're not great at applying bronzer, it's very forgiving. So I recently picked up a new one in a different shade. So it's the Ambient Lighting Bronzer, but it's in diffused light. Kind of hard to tell here, but when you mix it together with the brush, my bronzer is much more neutral toned. This is described as a cooler toned bronzer, and I would have to agree. Now there's one bronzer that I have been using a lot that is liquid, and I love how seamlessly it blends into my face, and it's the Tarte Sculpt Tape Contour, specifically in the shade Soft Bronze, although there are several other colors if you need something with a deeper pigment. And I don't do this all over like contour. I just run it across my forehead and like across my cheekbones, bridge of my nose, just like where the sun would hit it. And mine is, I'm like scared to take I have destroyed this thing. Like I literally ripped the sponge. I need to get a new one of these. I will probably do that this weekend. So I dot it. Don't squeeze too hard, it'll literally run down your face. I just dot it and then I blend it in. The same brush that I use for almost all of my face products. We'll get to that in a moment. If I were to wear highlighter, I would apply that next, but we're gonna skip that. Let's talk about the blushes. So let's go with liquid blush. I am newer to liquid blush. I resisted it for a very long time. For those of you who are watching who remember when most of my channel was beauty focused and not so much clothing focused, I flipped that around because my interest just kind of moved on. I sort of fixate on the same general products and there's not that much left to talk about, right? I have recently embraced, not that recently, but fairly recently in my life, embraced liquid blush. And if you are an older viewer, liquid blush is our friend. If you have texture issues, just get one that's not radiant. Get more of a matte or a satin finish. But anyway, enough lecturing you on the liquid blush. There's two that I love. Another Tarte product. This is their blush tape. Okay, that's an easy name. Tarte Blush Tape. And specifically, I love the shade Pink, which I am wearing, but then I layered a powder blush on top. It's just so pretty. It's so easy to put on. And I like to put my blush placement as I've gotten older. I've watched my blush placement go from the apples of my cheeks farther and farther back. So I get more of a lifted look. And then the other liquid blush that I absolutely love, and you're gonna hear about this one a lot. This is from YSL. It's their liquid blush, specifically the shade 44. I love the shade 44, which is called Nude Lavalier. They have it in blush, they have it in a powder blush, they have it in several variations for lips, which you're going to hear about shortly. So let's move on to the powder blushes. One that I've used for a really long time is from Hourglass. I think these are universally great products, but I do feel like these are especially friendly for more mature skin, aging skin, obviously dry skin. I should point out sensitive skin, reactive skin, that's me. So this one, Ethereal Glow, is that what it's called? Yes. See how it's this like cool toned, lighter pink? I just like a wash of color on my cheeks, and I think this one is beautiful. And then my most recent purchase, I really wanted a full-on cool tone pink blush. These new blushes from YSL First of all, this packaging, it has the leather, like, I mean, I don't know if it's real leather, but it feels like real leather. Quilting, just like their handbags, the YSL Gold logo. Yes, I am a sucker for expensive packaging. I can love and use my L'Oreal foundation almost every day and still love a splurge like this. They did release this in the shade 44, but it goes on my cheeks a little warmer than what I wanted. It's a beautiful color, but not quite what I was looking for. But this one is, I believe, called Baby Doll, and I know it looks terrifying in the pan, but as you can see, I'm wearing it on my face and I don't think I look like a clown with clown cheeks. It blends really nicely while still giving me a nice pop of spring color, and it layers really nicely over this one. I haven't tried it over the YSL blush, go figure, but I am really enjoying this. Very impressed with the YSL powder blushes. Next are brows. 2 products. This is the brow pencil that I have been loving the most. It's from Kosas. It's called the Brow Pop. It has kind of a thicker pencil on one end, so it's easy to draw on strokes or fill in depending on what you want to do. Nice spoolie on the other. And then to hold them in place, I swear by this. It's from Maybelline. It's their Super Lock Brow Glue. If you love Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze, but it gets goopy and disgusting really quickly, get this. It's better and it doesn't get goopy and it's way less expensive. Then moving on to eyes, let's talk about some cool tone palettes. If you still, they have discontinued these, but if you have these in your collection or you see them in a department store or any kind of makeup store, grab them. The Tarte palettes, specifically Tartelette in Bloom, not Tartelette, this is just the Tartelette palette. That's all cool tones for the most part. They're beautiful, but they're all matte or satin. The Tartelette in Bloom is my favorite because it has a row of neutral, cool toned, and warm tones, so you can play a little bit. And then one I've been reaching for that I initially did not like, but now that I know I can wear cool toned, I actually get a lot of compliments. The Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. Beautiful, softer, really easy to wear. Neutrals, cool tones, and some warm tones as well. These tiny little palettes from Too Faced. I love this one. It's the Cold Smolder Nudes. Well, there you go, Cold Smolder. Really cute little palette, great for travel, everyday, dramatic looks, however you want to use it. Another one that I've reached for over and over, and no one talks about this brand enough. M Cosmetics makes the best little eyeshadow palettes, and this one is called Saturn's Return. All cool tone, pewtery shades, beautiful. A very budget-friendly one that if I had to only pick one, might be this one. ColourPop, that's taupe, beautiful. Has some warm tones in it, but not many. Really user-friendly, really fun. And then lastly, I just picked this one up. It's what I have on my eyes today. It's this little baby palette from NARS. It's just a quad. It's called Korong. It doesn't look like much, but let me tell you, these things go on and blend so easily. So even this darkest shade you can wear as a liner or buff it out, and it actually blends out without getting everywhere. I love this palette. And then I have been mostly wearing liquid eyeshadows, not even stick ones. And the ones I love the most are the Armani eye tints, and I will list down in the description box the shades that I like for all over and like a mid-tone kind of shimmer shade and a highlight shade as well. Let's talk mascara. So first of all, I always curl my lashes, and this is a newer piece. I've had it since I think December. It's now finally available unless it's sold out again. It's the new BK Beauty Lash Curler. It's amazing. If you've never curled your lashes, it's got the same effect of finally putting on a bra. That's how much it lifts. So highly recommend this. Works with my eye shape beautifully. And then anytime I put on mascara, I'm wearing this. The Lancome Seals Booster XXL. It's a mascara primer. I don't do this for length. I do this for 2 reasons. My lashes are pretty long in the corners and they tangle. This separates them, and it also really helps avoid smudging and flaking. My most used mascara, 9 out of 10, is the Tarte Tartelette Tubing Mascara in the lavender tube. Their newest version in the gold tube, terrible. Don't waste your money. But the purple lilac-y one, it is so good. It's what I'm wearing today. And when I really want to zhuzh up my lashes, I'll do the lash primer first, and I'll go in with the Jones Road Beauty Mascara. It has another name, but we're just gonna call it the mascara. Huge, big volume, big drama. And then I do a layer of my Tartelette. So I kind of seal it all in, and I really don't have to worry about any kind of flaking or smudging. That's my extra drama look. As far as lip color goes, I could do a dedicated video. It would be an hour long and I would not even scratch the surface. Couple of lip liners. This one I need to stress. I don't know what it is with my skin. Almost every lip liner I put on turns brown or warm toned or even orange on me. Charlotte Tilbury's lip cheat in Pillow Talk that everyone loves, orange. Every neutral cool tone pink, brown. I have a few. One, my most favorite is from NYX, and it's like flirty something. It's also in a handbag somewhere in my house and I can't find it. The other one, if I want more of a pinky color, is the Edge to Edge color from MAC. That's what I have on today. But what I have on my lips right now, two products. I'll put the specific name on the screen. I can't remember which YSL product it is. Of course, it's in the shade 44. It's a really smooth, beautiful, neutralish pink, and it works, from what I can tell, on pretty much every skin tone. If I'm wearing a lipstick, this is what I'm reaching for. If I'm wearing a gloss, my current newest addiction is this one from YSL. It's a plumping lip oil. As far as I can tell, it's only available on the YSL website, which is where I will link it to. They did send me this in PR. I have to admit it, I did not buy this, but I would have if I had known about it. Coming, I think, March 28th to the Sephora website, maybe others as well. So follow me on Instagram and I will let you know when it's available in other places. So when I say plumping, it has like a minty taste or scent to it, but that's it. Like, I don't feel any tingling on my lips. This is nothing like, say, the Too Faced ones where it's just absolutely painful. It's just kind of a cooling sensation at best. No tingle. I don't know that it plumps, but this combination together, absolutely love it. And then when I want a brighter pink, I'm pretty sure this is not in my color family, but I love this shade so much. Now, this is the special packaging. This is one of the Dior I think it's Shine Addict lipsticks, and you can pick the case. It comes with just, I think, a black lacquer case, and you can get prettier ones. So I got the chrome one. There's a pink quilted one. I'll link to, they're really fun. It would make a really nice Mother's Day gift, I'm just saying. But my favorite color is Rose Celestial. It is this beautiful pink. It's a little bit brighter than this. It wakes up my whole face. I just feel special when I wear it. And what I love is if I do go through this whole tube, and I'm sure I will shortly, I imagine there's not much left here, I can order just the refill and I still have the pretty case. There is something to be said about pulling a very elegant, pretty lipstick out of your handbag. I'm not a lipstick snob. I love Maybelline lip glosses. I love L'Oreal lipsticks, like tons of drugstore lipsticks, but there is something special about pulling a pretty one like this one or this one out of your handbag. Now, if you're still here, thank you. I know I just went through a whole host of products. I literally just threw them at you. I just feel like it's been way too long where I've sat down and walked you through what I use. Let me know, would you like me to do just like maybe a dedicated post on the post page, just listing more focused on these are the lip products I use the most, and then maybe I could do one on these are the eyeshadow palettes I wear, because this is just the tip of the iceberg for many of these products. If you want to know more about the makeup that I'm using, I'm happy to tell you. I have just honestly found that one, my interest waned in making those videos, and if I'm not enjoying it, it gets conveyed through, I think, the camera pretty well, and I've noticed these are my least viewed videos. So while there may be some interest, generally you're about as interested in it as I am. I do love and feel very strongly about all of these, which is why I am more than happy to make this video for you. I'm not constantly buying new makeup, which is why I'm not constantly making new videos about it. But if you want to know more, let me know. Maybe it'll be a special newsletter. Maybe it'll be some dedicated Instagram posts or some posts over on the YouTube post page. Let me know in your comments. Say hey, especially if you've been around since the earlier beauty videos. I love hearing from you. Thanks for hanging out with me today and speeding through my makeup collection. I forgot. Okay, this is easy. Brushes, BK. 99% of my brushes are BK Beauty brushes, so that one is easy. I'll list my top used ones very quickly. The most used, if you buy one brush from BK Beauty, it's the 106 face brush. I use this for concealer. I use this for foundation. I use this to blend in my liquid blush, liquid bronzer, cream contour, you name it, anything face related, this is the brush that you need. Okay, that's it. This video I think has gotten super, super long, so thanks for hanging out with me today, talking about something I don't often talk about. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.